You know what time it is. Time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Yeah.
Welcome to the Big Scoop with Coop. I'm your host, Coop. Big shout outs to everyone that's listening on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, wherever you're listening to. Big shout outs to you. If you want to catch the video version of this show, make sure you go to my website to catch full episodes at thebigscoopwithcoop.com. Also on YouTube at youtube.com/thebigscoopwithcoop. You can also catch a 15-minute preview of this episode right here on Instagram at Big Scoop with Coop. All right, people, enough about me. Today's guest, she is doing big things in her career right now. She is actually a big influencer on Instagram. She's also have teamed up with people in the mental illness industry. She's also teamed up with a lot of people in the fashion industry. We're going to talk to her today. Her name is Phaith Montoya. Now, like I said, Phaith is doing big things. We'll catch up with her. We're going to talk about what she did after she graduated college. We're going to talk about the fashion industry, what she has done, where she has been, what she's got going on. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about mental illness. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of the Big Scoop with Coop with Phaith Montoya. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem. How's your day going so far?
It's going good. You know, I played pickleball and then I went to do my influencer stuff. So yeah, it was great.
Nice. Now, Phaith, you've been doing a lot in your life already. Your career is nowhere close to be over. I know you're heavy on mental illness. I know you're heavy on fashion. You do your thing. You also have social media on lock also. But I want to start the show off with something special. It's called Have You Heard? Now, have you heard, Phaith, that the National Alliance of Mental Illness that I know you know about, they reported that 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience mental illness in each year. 1 in 20 adults experience serious mental illness each year, and 1 in 6 youth age 6 to 17, they have a mental health disorder, and 50% of their lifetime mental illness begins around age 14. Have you heard about that?
I have, to an extent, not those numbers specifically, but I know that the numbers are very cut like that. I know in college I learned that 1 in 4 people suffer from some type of anxiety disorder. And I remember that number just sticking with me, 1 in 4 is insane. So I believe all of those numbers wholeheartedly.
Yes. And I just want to say to everybody that's watching worldwide right now, if you're going through some type of condition, mental illness or anything, seek help. Don't think you're alone. Trust me, there's somebody out there that's willing to help you. A lot of people, definitely a lot. Now, we're about to learn about Phaith right now. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Phaith has overcome a lot of things also, and her career is booming. She's doing great things inside this world, and we're about to talk about it right now. Now, Phaith, I'm going to tell you what I heard about you, and I want you to elaborate about this. Now, in 2019, I think you know where I'm going with this. You graduated from college.
Yes.
And long hair that you are messing with right now, you decided to do what I did.
Yeah.
That's right. What was the motivation behind that?
I literally did what you did. I felt like I had nothing else to lose in those moments. I just remember moving across the country because I just graduated, then the world shutting down before I even had time to make friends in a new city. My job shut down, classes I was taking, everything became virtual. I got my heart broken. I just felt like my life was in disarray, and I truly felt like I had nothing else to lose. So I was like, why not? And it was the best decision of my entire life thus far.
So what type of feedback did you receive when a week ago certain people saw you with hair, and then the next following week it's gone? Well, how was some of the feedback?
It was a lot of backlash. I remember a lot of people that I was supposed to was like, this is a big mistake. I even had like a family member say it was ugly, but I I let it get to me sometimes, but I feel as though it really built up my just confidence because at one point I just could care less what other people said about how I looked in those moments. Like I knew I was becoming new, brand new. And whether you perceive me, like people would say I look like a boy, or they would say like you look like you have cancer, like the most ridiculous things. I didn't care. Like I was like, whatever your perception of me does not change who I am. So it's fine.
I feel you. I feel you. Now, when you cut that last strand of hair off of your head and you looked in the mirror, what was the first thing you said to yourself?
I remember just like finally being able to see myself. Like, wow, she can't hide behind the hair. Like, I feel like it was the first time I've ever seen my face. Like, this is her right there. And for the next like 7 to 9 months, I could not look at her because I didn't have anything else to hide behind. So it was really shocking experience, but a beautiful one too.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, watching worldwide, I hope you're taking this down, guys. It doesn't matter what other people think about you. You have to live for self first. You got to love yourself before other people will actually love you also. So please, people, if you want to do a certain hairstyle, hairdo, cut it off, grow it long. I don't care if you want to pull the Pippi long stockings. I don't care what you want to do, man. Do it. This is your body. Have fun with it. Make sure you definitely do that. Now, I want to talk about something else real quick, Phaith, and that is the fashion world. Now, you've been doing it big. Like I said, you're on billboards. You're getting to all these social engagements that you have to go to. You have social media blowing up. When did you first realize that you had a love for fashion?
I think I've always had a love for fashion, but I felt as though fashion never loved me. Because as much as I wanted to wear things or, play dress up and kind of experiment with my fashion, I was left to basically just wear like business casual. Like my favorite clothing store in high school was New York and Company. Like you would have thought I had a 9 to 5 corporate job, but that was my favorite store because they carried clothes for my size and I always felt like they had semi cute pieces. Yeah, it was a little formal, but it was still really cute. And I just wish from a very young age that fashion loved me back and, gave me the experience that a lot of girls that want to play with their style had. But yeah, I think I've always known and I know I had to take a different path because obviously fashion wasn't going to align with me. So I was like, let me just pursue my other passions in life. But I'm really grateful that social media has given me the opportunity to come around and pursue my passion for fashion again.
Yes, yes. And I congratulate you, though, Phaith, because I've been watching you. I have. And you are not letting up for nobody. I will say that. You are doing your thing. You're still rocking what you want to rock, and you're having fun with it. So, congratulations to you. Please
Thank
continue to do
you.
your thing. Yes, please
Thank
definitely
you.
do. Yes. Now, how excited were you when you realized that different companies wanted to collaborate with you, in the fashion industry? You had a lot of people approaching you. How was it when they first came to you?
I think it was insane. I started off teaching before, like even when I was an influencer, I was still like substitute teaching, long-term sub, and I was like, you want to work with little old me? Like, I didn't even see myself as like something brands would even consider. I feel like society has did condition me to think less of myself. But I think now, like, I have let that all go because I know my worth and I know that just as happy as I am to work with these brands, I know that these brands are just as lucky to work with me because I have the audience there. And the average size of women in the United States right now is a size 18. This is where the money resides, and I know that these women want to look good and they want to serve looks. So I think that I am over the moon anytime a brand wants to work with me, but I'm even more over the moon when I know that they cater to the sizes of my huge audience.
Yes, yes. Shout them out, Faith. Who are some of these companies that's you've been teaming up with?
Well, Pretty Little Thing, I just dropped an edit with them. I love, love, love them. Another brand that I did an edit with recently was Finesse. Every single item that they sell goes up to a 3x. Like they don't separate any of them. Every single one, all 500 things on their website or however many it is, goes up to a 3x. And I feel like that's just super commendable. Nike, a recent brand that I was working with, love, love, love them too. Everything going up to, like they cater to curve and plus size women. And especially when you think about like athletics and whatnot, people always try to exclude them, even though they be the same ones telling plus size women to go to the gym, but they still think they don't deserve clothes to work out in. So yeah, there's just so many brands that I feel like are really doing the work, and I will always, always be behind them for that.
Now, Pretty Little Thing, Nike, Finesse, I've heard of all of them, and those are not small companies.
Yeah.
You have caught the attention. Now, do you think it was your social media presence that actually did it, or did someone see you at some fashion show, or how did it come together?
I definitely think it's my social media presence. I had a brand tell me that they were looking for, somebody to like kind of do a collab with their plus size line. And they said that this is in a different country, by the way, like it was in Europe. And they said that they had asked like their models, their customers, and also plus size women on the street. They surveyed, and a lot of them were all like Phaith Montoya, and that's not even in this country. So to think that plus size women all over the world are looking to me for inspiration on what to wear, and somebody to like, they were like, oh, I'll look at your page before I go out and stuff. Like I hear that all the time. I think brands take note of that, like, oh, she has some pull in this, and if you want to, promote something that is including plus sizes, I feel like when they think of me, they think of like it's a no-brainer. Like she has so much community, and they know how much I value my followers, that like there's that relationship that it's really hard to find these days.
Now, how does that work for you though? Because now millions of eyes are on you in social media. Now, do you have to think twice what you're putting on before you get on social media? Or tell everybody, how does this work before you hit record to go live or take a picture to put on social media? How does your brain process?
I think I live in a constant state of like fight or flight with every aspect of my life, kind of navigating a very fat phobic society. So whenever I put something on, unless it just does not completely fit, I'm going to make, I don't know if I can curse, but I'm gonna make some shit shake. Okay. That's my motto in this life. I don't care if I gotta make, a skirt into a shirt, if I gotta like make something, anything, I will like transform it. I will make it look good on my body. And by any means necessary. Should fat women have to do that? No. But I will. And I will encourage my audience that even if these people are not making clothes for you, let the clothes work for you, instead of you trying to work for them. And yeah, I feel like that is the only thing going through my mind when I hit play. I try to just encourage women to look at the positives, because yeah, I know what it feels like to be in a dressing room and something doesn't fit correctly, or I just don't like how it looks. But I'm like, let me make some shake. Let me add a belt. Let me add something on top. Let's layer this. Let me make it work for me instead of sitting here being down about my body. Like I feel like if I allow the clothes to be like, oh, this doesn't look on my body, I don't know how to style things correctly. That means I'm not as passionate about fashion as I said I was. And I love that challenge, and I love how that challenges my audience.
Mhm. Now, I'm gonna let you know because this hit me also. There's a lot of fake social media influencers and businesses that's out there. They will get into your DMs and say, hey, I've seen this. I would love for you to wear some of my stuff. And it's really a scam at the same
Hmm.
time. How can you tell which ones are real and which ones are scams when it comes to social media, when they're trying to partner with you and collaborate?
I feel like a big thing for me, and I know this is a little controversial, but I never turn off my likes. Never. Even if they're low, and low is like really relative, because people will consider 1,000 likes low, but for me, 1,000 people decided to put a like on my picture. That may be low to other, but 1,000, imagine 1,000 people in your house, like to me, I appreciate those 1,000 people, and I'm not going to put and others because I feel like I'm less than because this photo didn't get as many likes as my photos with 80,000 likes. I still appreciate every 1,000, even if it's 400 people. Like, I still appreciate those people. And I think a lot of these times you'll see people or businesses with like 10 million followers and like 27 likes, or they'll put and others, and then they'll have like 3 comments. Like those are really like big indicators. And I see there's a lot of people floating around, like, doing the fake engagement thing, like, buying the followers. But I just never saw the hype when building a community is such a much more beautiful thing, and I think that's important. Like, I'm always in my comment section. You'll see me in every, like, liking hundreds of comments, commenting back. That is how you know it's real, and that's how you know it's raw.
That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, worldwide is watching. I hope you're hearing this from Phaith, because you see, it doesn't matter if it's 1,000 or 1,000,000. If you get those likes, that's what's going on. You're doing something to catch somebody's attention, and you keep doing what you're doing. Don't get discouraged off of likes. And you know what? And I think that's what happened to a lot of people, Phaith. A lot of people saw these big time entertainers, people that's famous, celebrities, getting I'm just making this number up, 1.6 million likes on TikTok, 2 million likes on Instagram. And they're like, I want to do the same thing. And they try to imitate, and they only get 4 likes. And I think that plays a lot in the mental health. As you see where I'm about to go with this, I'm about to shift this conversation around. It plays with people mentally. Now,
Yeah.
have you heard about a lot of people that end up being mentally like distraught because of social media?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, clout, I believe, is a real drug. Like, and I believe people can be addicted to it. And I believe that there's a amount of like dopamine hits that you get from getting likes and getting, just virality. There's all that around there. You feel like you're a part of something. You feel like people care about you. So yeah, I do think it can be addicting, and it is something that can hit you hard when you withdraw from that. When one video got 1 million likes and then the next didn't even get 100, like, that hits people like a bag of bricks. So that's why I'm always like, don't look at the numbers. Like, don't. The numbers don't matter. And even if it is 4 people, that's 4 people that were like, yeah, this rocks. And I just feel like that to me is like, how many friends do you want in your life? If all 4 or 5 of your friends are like, yeah, that's a bomb ass dress, like, you're going to be happy about it. So why limit these people behind a screen as less than, but I think it's definitely been like blown up to where everybody wants to taste. And yeah, I think that's what's really affecting a lot of their mental health, is by focusing on those numbers.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. Now, like I said earlier in the beginning of the show, you are a big advocate towards mental health. What made you go that direction to actually do your research on mental health, and also, be an advocate of mental health?
I think it wasn't until I got my degree and realized I even had a mental illness. Like, I was in class taking notes and being like, whoa, like, this is really personal. Like, whoa, like, what is this story about me? Because a lot of the symptoms that were being said in my classes, I was like really in disarray. And I think it's really taboo in like communities of like people of color, lower socioeconomic status. They don't really talk about mental health. So I never grew up like hearing about like going to therapy, or you have depression, or things like that. It was one of those things like, you just got to work through it, and whatever way you can cope the best. And my college offered, I think, like 20 free therapy sessions every semester. So I was like, let me use these resources. And I went to therapy, and lo and behold, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety and eating disorder, a learning disability, things that had all held me back for a really long time. I mean, I still had gotten far, but had I known prior, I could have probably gotten the help I needed to even have gone farther. But that is really where my interest sparked in college, and just learning about, dang, I was like suffering in silence because I had no idea. And I know that there's family members that I love, friends that I love, that also suffered in silence, because I saw myself in them, and I was like, wow, like, this is such a passion of mine now.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, is it true? And let me know if I'm wrong with this. Are you tied in with National Alliance Mental Illness? Like, are you all associated any type of way?
Yes, I
So,
am their newest brand ambassador.
wow.
Which is such an honor to me, because like I said, I went into this just a girl that shaved her head, and was just showing her hair growth, and I was still teaching, and I never thought in a million years I would get to a point where it's like, wow, like, I have my hand in real powerful work.
Does it ever surprise you that the people, the companies that you are tied with, your views and your followers on social media, like before 2019, did you see this coming for you?
No, no, not at all. I literally was studying to go to med school for my MCAT. Like these were not even in my wildest dreams. I had no idea this would ever be in my path, but I just decided to be led by faith and not by my fears. And I think that's how I got here.
I got to congratulate you again, Faith, because you are an ambassador in not just one vision. I mean, mental health, fashion, social media on lock. I know I sound like a parrot because I've been repeating myself this whole interview,
No,
but guess
fine.
what? It's crazy to me because a lot of people that's influencers, they're only influenced in one realm. And look at what you've done. You're ambassador from mental illness or mental health all the way to fashion. Continue to do what you do, Faith. And guess what? I'm going to tell you right now, in front of millions worldwide, you're not done. You're not done. This is not
That
it.
is a little bit.
Oh, I'm telling you, this is not it for you. If you think this your last ambassadorship, I'm gonna laugh at you because it's not. You know we're close to that. I'm gonna let you know you're catching eyes. You're catching so many eyes. More people are coming to you. Continue to do your thing, Faith. Now, Faith. Oh yeah, you're welcome. Now, what's the best way for everybody to follow you on social media? The small percentage that's not following you already.
Faith with a PH, Montoya, literally everywhere.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen worldwide, follow Faith. Go to her social media page. Follow her. Not right now because you're watching this interview. After this interview, blow up her social media. Let her know what you're seeing. Let her know you're interested. Show her love. Show her support. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Faith, this is the last segment of the show. It's called Take the Floor. You have up to 2 minutes to say whatever you want. No questions asked. Phaith Montoya, take the floor.
I think that right now it's actually funny that you say this. There's been a lot of think pieces about me and my relationship on the internet about why my man, who is, thinner and is interested in somebody like me, and people keep saying it is an investment, that plus size women are investments and he's going to have a big return whenever I lose weight. But whoever's watching this, plus size women, we are not investments, and we are worthy of love how we are. And even if we never change, we're still worthy of that love. And there's a man out there, a woman out there that is going to love you for who you are and all of you. And I'm super glad that I found that. And I think the think pieces can be put to rest now because he's not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. We're very happy. And I think that if I can be anything, it's a testament that plus size women are loved and we're loved out loud.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Once again, everybody, make sure you go check out Phaith social media pages. Make sure you follow her in her mental health journey. Make sure you follow her in the fashion. If you're in NYNJ, if you see her on a billboard, just give her a fist sign, just like that. Fist bump. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's been running the Phaith lately, continue to follow this lady. She's got big things going. Bigger dreams is coming. Make sure you follow her. Phaith, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I would love to have you back on in the future.
No, definitely. Somebody's going to clip this show one day, and they're going to talk about how you said it was just the beginning. So thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, the next guest on the Big Scoop with Coop is, I don't announce my next guest. You better follow me on social media at the Big Scoop with Coop. Catch up with me. And until next time on the Big Scoop with Coop. Peace.
You know what time it is. It's time to hang out with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. With Mr. Cooper. Get the latest scoop from Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. From Mr. Cooper. Hang with Mr. Coop. With Mr. Cooper.